Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the wrestling show. We're a couple minutes late because we had a pre-show rant in progress, so you have to forgive us for that one. Sometimes those things can't be helped. With us tonight, we have, as always, the Kingpin. How are you tonight?
Yo,
And next we have the ranter, Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you tonight?
I held my breath. I'm counting to 10. Starting to feel a little better. Gonna get in my calm, happy place, man. So, thanks for the invite, man. Good to see Kingpin. Good to see everybody out there in the chat. Patriot in the Dark. Thank you for the swag I got in the mail today. Krabby Turtle. Once again, I really like that Colt pistol. And Christmas 740s out there. Hey, Chris. So, yeah, man. Thanks for letting me be here.
Yep. And as mentioned, we do have Christmas 740, Krabby Turtle, Patriot in the Dark, and the two panelists as well. So even and everybody out there watching, again, if you're out there watching and you don't say something in YouTube chat, chances are we don't know you're there.
shout out to Squibload listening on the replay.
Sometimes. So yeah, we got some digging in to get into tonight. After what happened yesterday. Who'd have thunk Vince McMahon actually retired? So, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I did. I said that. I said that last week.
Uh, no. In all honesty, what are your thoughts on that happening? Hey, we got Scottish American out there, formerly known as the Crazy Scotsman. Evening, sir.
You can go ahead and go first, Jason.
I'll be honest. I think it's slightly surprising to me. Uh, now that he has done this, I'm kind of worried about the future of WWE. Um, we'll get into that, I guess, here a little bit later. But yeah, kind of surprised, kind of saddened. Like I said, kind of worried for the future.
What about you, Kingpin?
Well, I've actually heard a lot of people across the different internet channels talking about it, and there's a large contingency of people that think it's still a play, and I don't think those people understand that there's like the law is involved now. This isn't Vince McMahon, getting ready to come out and drop kick somebody. Uh, but I think he's trying to cut all his assets because he's going to get sued and he's going to have to pay some people off. And the less money he's got, the less he's got to pay him.
Yeah. Wow. I'm glad you brought up all that because it turns out, as we'll see in the timeline that Forbes published of the whole situation, there actually was no criminal activity on the part of Vince. The original reporting that the money was corporate funds were inaccurate. That it was his own money that was being used. So that takes away any of the criminal element.
Okay, well that's good because I I just didn't see Vince being a billionaire would have to. He knows better. He knows what's legitimate and legal in the corporate world. I couldn't see him embezzling company money to pay off a woman when, like, he's a billionaire. What he paid them women in millions, he just makes for free off interest from the bank, you know? So I didn't really, I didn't really, well, if it was true, I'd just been disappointed in him for stealing from the company like that.
Another thing that's been getting tossed around, which I don't know if we talked about it last week or not, but Vince paid off Sally with an NDA and gave her $1 million, and now she's sitting there all cracked out with no money, and she's like, Vince should probably have to give me more money. So she could just, I mean, it could be a possible shakedown to try to get Vince to settle and cough up a bunch of money. Well, I don't know Vince McMahon, whether he's, a philanderer or not, or whatever his problems are or not, but it's definitely possible that, these chicks are just trying to, lay him out to dry.
From all reports that have actually been confirmed, it's somebody within the company that leaked the information to the board. It's not any of the women that were paid off.
Well, no, I'm saying the women that are paid off want more money, and now they've got a problem because Vince said, no, I'm not giving you any more money. And they said, well, we want it. So we're going to drag you through court and call you a rapist.
Except from all reports again and witnesses that I'm guessing that testified, everything that happened on that front was consensual. So,
I mean, but amazing. Again, there's never been anybody ever go to jail for rape, even though it was consensual.
Just ask Mike Tyson.
I'm saying
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant didn't go to jail, but and I don't care about Kobe Bryant either, but that girl let him wax. And then when he was like, all right, I'm leaving to go be Kobe Bryant, she was like, no, oh my God. And said he raped her.
Yeah.
Oh, Scotsman. Go ahead,
filled
Jason.
in.
Yeah.
Krabby says, what about John Laurinaitis being the leaker? I don't think so because it cost him his job, as we'll get into in the timeline when we get to it. So I don't think it was Laurinaitis that would have leaked it either. And I guess the guy, from all accounts, doesn't have a conscience. So, I mean, you could say, oh, he did it because of his conscience. And then from all reports on that guy, he's a real douchebag. He's not his brother. His brother being the late Joe Laurinaitis, also known as Road Warrior Animal, who was supposed to have been a sweetheart to everybody. John Laurinaitis, on the other hand, is a douchebag.
Scotsman. Vince McMahon has been selling off parts of his company or stuff like that, making business moves. His kids aren't really involved anymore. They kind of both backed out of the company. And then just recently, go ahead, what, Rich?
Not so fast on that one, Kingpin, because that's part of the timeline.
Well, I'm trying to
out.
catch Scotsman.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch
Yeah.
Scotsman up real fast.
Yeah, I know. I get that, but Shane is out. Stephanie's not.
Oh, I thought we talked about. We had a show about her being out.
She was taking time off to spend time with her family, but because of all this, she's been drawn back in. She's not out.
All right, I'll just give it a real quick and put it down and dirty. Vince McMahon is being accused of inappropriate sexual activity with what is it, 5 different women now?
Something like that, yeah.
So now he's came out and made the statement that he's retiring from wrestling. So that's the quick and dirty there, Scotsman.
Yep. So if you guys want, we can get into the timeline of events because Forbes has a pretty detailed timeline of what's been going on since this started. I believe it was on June 15th, I think, is when the timelines and all that started. Yeah, June 15th. So let me go over here and go away, Forbes thing. Do you want to receive notifications from? No, I don't. Here we are. Okay, you guys see in this timeline article here?
Yep, we got it.
All right. This is from the sports money section of Forbes. Vince McMahon retires of time limit events amid 2022's probe of sexual misconduct. It was written by Andy Kanoa, who has also written for other papers on specifically about pro wrestling and whatnot. So this guy's pretty knowledgeable when it comes to the area of professional wrestling and what's going on.
Clickbait. He used the word probe of sexual misconduct.
Well, it is. It's a probe by the board of directors. Probe system.
Apparently, it was a probe by the president of the company too.
Well, no, the chairman and CEO, and one of the executive vice presidents. But all right. So get into the article. Vince McMahon shockingly retired from WWE amid rising allegations of sexual misconduct. McMahon is in the middle of a WWE investigation regarding alleged hush money settlements. From the day these allegations were announced, McMahon has attempted to weather the storm during a summer of hell by publicly stepping down, presumably for optics, and no-selling the brewing scandal in public appearances. With McMahon reportedly retiring from all duties, however, 2022 will go down as the year that saw the unlikely fall of Vincent Kennedy McMahon. The Vince McMahon investigation started by WWE on June 15th, 2022. In a bombshell report by the I can't even read, by the Wall Street Journal, it was revealed that Vince McMahon was the subject of an internal WWE investigation amid hush money settlements for sexual misconduct. Amid the damning accusations, WWE reportedly increased the salary of a former paralegal who McMahon allegedly had an affair with. The investigation also meant the end of John Laurinaitis' tenure as Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, a role that would later be assumed by Triple H. Well, first it was assumed in an interim manner by Bruce Pritchard. Today's climate is littered with the demise of one male mogul after another due to accusations of sexual misconduct. These very serious allegations against Vince McMahon are the biggest threat to his iron role as WWE Chairman and CEO, and proved to be too much to overcome. Here we go. Next part of the timeline. Vince McMahon steps down from WWE June 17th, 2022, 2 days after the story originally broke. Days after the scandalous report of McMahon's WWE investigation, Vince McMahon stepped down as WWE Chairman and CEO, as this was only supposed to be on a temporary basis when this happened. In his place, McMahon installed his daughter Stephanie, just 1 month after Stephanie McMahon announced she was taking a leave of absence from WWE to focus on her family. Fast forward to today, Stephanie McMahon and her husband Triple H are at the helm of WWE, a far cry from both of their intentions to step back in favor of family time. I love this company, and I'm committed to working with the independent directors to strengthen our culture and our company. It is extremely important to me that we have a safe and collaborative workplace, Stephanie McMahon said on Twitter. I have committed to doing everything in my power to help the special committee complete its work, including marshaling the cooperation of the entire company to assist in the completion of the investigation and to implement its findings. Despite Vince McMahon stepping down, many dismissed Stephanie's interim role as an optics play. Vince McMahon continued to maintain creative control over WWE, and despite publicly stepping down, seemed to have more control than ever behind the scenes. Also on June 17th, we have Vince McMahon appearing on SmackDown. Just hours after stepping down as WWE Chairman, Vince McMahon appeared briefly to open the June 17th, 2022 broadcast of SmackDown. In quite possibly his final appearance on SmackDown, Vince McMahon repeated WWE's signature phrase, "Then, now, forever," and the most important word is together, McMahon reportedly shouted. Well, an expletive rhymes with truck, starts with F, ends in K, and it's not fire truck. In response to the mounting allegations against him before returning to a business-as-usual demeanor, McMahon has attempted to no-sell these allegations throughout a very public scandal. Even in his retirement announcement, he implied his age, 77 years, was the reason for stepping away, with no references to the accusations. Vince McMahon followed up his SmackDown appearance with another empty appearance on the June 20, 2022 broadcast of Raw. McMahon briefly spoke about the impending return of John Cena. Also under fire was former WWE Executive Vice President of Talent Relations John Laurinaitis, who was ousted from the company due to his alleged involvement with the former WWE paralegal. Bruce Pritchard was named interim vice president of talent relations in his place. Now we fast forward to July 8th, 2022. Vince McMahon hush money allegations grow to $12 million. Wall Street Journal's original bombshell report received a sequel as the follow-up report noted McMahon had paid upwards of $12 million in NDA non-disclosure agreement settlements to former WWE contractors and personnel. Additional settlements ranged from $1 million to a stunning $7.5 million in alleged hush money. Accusations against McMahon included sending nude photos and coercing a former wrestler to perform oral sex. Just 1 day prior, WWE Board of Directors member Connor Schell stepped down from his position. Mr. Schell's decision to resign from the board was not due to any dispute or disagreement with the company, its management, or the board of any matter relating to the company's operations, policies, or practices, read an SEC filing. And that's important because if the company lied about why he stepped down to the SEC, that is a felony that the company could be fined heavily for, and whoever wrote the false document in that filing could be tried criminally for oh shit, I can't remember the charge now. Anyway, for lying to the government, essentially. But there's a specific charge that goes with it, and I can't remember what the name of it is. Despite public statement, it's not difficult to make the connection between Shell's decision and the rising amount of negativity plaguing the company. In light of the rising allegations, streaming giant Netflix reportedly pulled its planned documentary series about Vince McMahon. And just yesterday, Triple H named Executive Vice President of Talent Relations. Triple H, nicknamed the King of Kings, went back on his throne as WWE announced he would replace John Laurinaitis as Executive Vice President of Talent Relations. This wasn't even the most shocking announcement of the day. On another whirlwind of a Friday afternoon in pro wrestling, the announcement preceded Vince McMahon's own shocking announcement that the WWE chairman was set to retire. It wasn't too long ago that both Triple H and Stephanie McMahon's futures as power brokers within WWE were in question. With Stephanie McMahon as WWE interim chairwoman and CEO, and Triple H installed as WWE Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, WWE's seemingly scrapped succession plan was reincarnated amid internal turmoil. Amid Triple H's unlikely return to power, Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer newsletter reported Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn were not present at WWE SmackDown. For those that don't know, Kevin Dunn is the guy that directs the filming of SmackDown and Raw, and he's basically Vince McMahon's right-hand man. And not very many people in the company like him, other than Vince McMahon. And again, from yesterday, Vince McMahon retires from WWE. Vince McMahon shockingly retired via Twitter. At 77, time for me to retire. Thank you, WWE Universe. Then, now, forever together. McMahon's decision was reportedly in the works for a week before the announcement was made, as only a small circle was aware of the news beforehand. Stephanie McMahon and WWE Chief Revenue Officer Nick Khan, no relation to Tony Khan, who owns AEW, will be taking over as co-CEOs while Triple H steps in as WWE Executive Vice President of Talent Relations. The announcement reportedly led to immediate backstage hysteria. Despite cynicism of McMahon possibly maintaining control behind the scenes, McMahon has reportedly retired from all duties, including creative. To all WWE superstars, as I approach 77 years old, oh my God, am I really that old? I feel it's time for me to retire. I've thoroughly enjoyed my passion, wisdom, and love of the business with you. No longer will you see the smiling, docile, level-headed, calm presence at Gorilla every week. By the way, that's a joke. McMahon said in an internal memo, your dedication to WWE will ensure that our company will continue to grow and prosper. Our organization is nothing without you. You are WWE's only natural resource chosen to perform in front of a global audience. We are all WWE global ambassadors. Carry the WWE flag wherever you go. Wave it high and proud, and bust your ass to be all you can as a person and as a performer. One other thing, I won't be with you, but I'll be watching. Remember to keep your hands up, grab hold, and sell. By the way, SmackDown airs tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on Fox.
And keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah. Possibly the most telling line, unintentional or not, is "I won't be with you, but I'll be watching." Given Vince McMahon's penchant for fighting and maintaining control, it's safe to say, I guess he's trying to say it's safe to say that he will always be watching in some form or fashion until his final days on this earth. And again, here we go from yesterday. Brock Lesnar walks out of SmackDown, July 22nd, 2022. In response to Vince McMahon retiring, Brock Lesnar reportedly walked out of SmackDown. Per multiple sources, Lesnar walked out of SmackDown under the mentality that if Vince McMahon is gone, Lesnar is gone. Lesnar's sudden departure puts his forthcoming match against Roman Reigns, the WWE SummerSlam main event, in jeopardy. Lesnar has never been shy about walking out of WWE shows when the situation does not serve him. For Lesnar, McMahon's ousting appeared to be a deal breaker. In the end, cooler heads prevailed, and Lesnar returned to the building in time to close out SmackDown with a brutal beatdown of Mr. Money in the Bank, Austin Theory. So that's where we're at on the timeline. What do you guys think?
Uh, what do you think the show will go on? Or do you think in the near future, like within a year or so, do you think they'll sell?
I don't know. I mean, some of the moves that they made over the last year with the cuts to the roster and stuff looked like they were selling or planning to sell. With Vince not there anymore, who knows if that's going to be the same situation going forward or not.
Oh, it seems pretty clear now that Vince has just been getting extorted, and he can't take it anymore, so he's got to drop out. And then it also sounds like Stephanie and Triple H are kind of licking at their chops and trying to feast on his dying carcass.
It's
And Brock Lesnar walking out. I mean, shoot, it's Tuesday. Brock Lesnar quit. Real quick, address what Rob said. Yeah, Rob, we know this is all pretend, and it's just interesting to talk about because it's something that that Rich wanted to do a show about, and these shows, the wrestling shows, a lot of times we don't even talk about wrestling. There's lots of times nothing happened in wrestling, and we talk about guns the whole time. We're talking about Muslims the whole time. But what's special about this is yucking it up with Rich and Jason and Buck and Krabby and Fiend Dog's usually out there, basically just hanging out with y'all and watching. I get it, and everybody on the planet gets it. They're really not punching people in the face, but the athleticism that these wrestlers show is pretty interesting, man. It's really cool. And it's no different than watching the Olympics and watching the gymnastics people in the Olympics or the wrestlers on the Olympics. And I can tell you, Rich and me and Jason don't give a crap what happens to Vince McMahon. He ain't paying none of our bills. We've never met him. We never will meet him. He wouldn't look at us if we walked past him. But this is just part of the show, and it's pretty interesting. It's also better than talking about Joe Biden.
Yeah. And if you want a comparison, this is the pro wrestling equivalent of the whole thing with what's his face out there in Hollywood. What was it? Weinstein. So and from the pro wrestling perspective, the wrestling phenomenon that it was in the 80s and 90s wouldn't have been a thing if not for Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So there's that too. I mean, as far as pro wrestling is concerned, this is probably the biggest story. Did you say the last 20, 30 years, Kingpin? Jason?
Maybe the biggest story that I've ever known about. Like I said, most everything's usually the play or whatever. But this is real news. This is real money. This is real people involved. So I'm just not quite sure I've heard news like this come out of the wrestling industry.
This is the biggest thing in wrestling history. Period. Like Rich just said it. There wouldn't be wrestling if it wasn't for Vince McMahon. You know, people want to credit Hulk Hogan, but Vince McMahon created Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the guy all that much. I never really liked him as a wrestling character. The whole groggly voice and everything really wasn't my thing. But the reality of the thing is, it's no different than your like Seinfeld. When Seinfeld went off the air, everybody was, "Oh, it's Seinfeld, Seinfeld," because two dudes were sitting around watching television and they were like, "Let's make a TV show that's better than this crap." So when he quit, everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, Seinfeld quit." Vince McMahon made wrestling. He created what we know as wrestling today, whether it's in any part of this world. And for him to be caught up in a scandal and then not being, even if it wasn't caught in a scandal, just not being a part of it anymore. It's like when John Madden died. You know, all the football sports guys were like, "Hey, John Madden's football."
Yeah, like some people are Mr. Football. Vince McMahon is Mr. Wrestling.
And Scotsman's got a pretty good point. You know, as much media coverage as Vince McMahon is getting right now, it's either a bigger conspiracy plot because, like I said last week, the one picture that they showed had Donald Trump in it. But, you know, a lot more people are talking about wrestling right now. Like I said, I've been listening to all kinds of different news chats and stuff that aren't like gun channels related. And three or four channels have already talked about Vince McMahon stepping down and the scandal.
A lot of that, you're not going to get that from mainstream media as part of a planned thing with WWE. I mean, they're not going to be in on all of that. That's just them reporting the downfall of a billionaire. You know, so I'm not surprised that you would see that on like mainstream media. To be perfectly honest, anytime you get any kind of major corporation that has the head of the corporation stumble and fall like this, they're going to report on it.
Oh well,
So
they're gonna go extra crazy on it because he's a friend of Trump's.
yeah,
He's a
yeah, there's that
Republican.
too.
That I'm not gonna say failed, but they're gonna say is failed and disgraced and all that. I don't really see it like that, man. The dude's 77 years old. He's still banging the hotties at work, man. Like I said, show me one company CEO that ain't doing the same thing. And like I don't have a problem with it, as long as he didn't use company money. But Vince is the man, and I'm sure there around the corporate offices or the arenas, despite what everybody thinks of him, he's the boss. He is the man, and he is a billionaire. So like these women knew what they were doing. They were just getting theirs, man. They were, you know, progressing their financial futures, man. I'm not shocked about it. Like none of these women are complaining. They all signed non-disclosure agreements. You know, it's not like he tortured them and hurt them and was chewing on them and biting them or nothing crazy. He's just a horny old man. And like, look at his wife Linda. I mean, can you blame the dude? So like, I got nothing personal against Vince McMahon or don't think it should be a scandal or anything. But I'm just glad for what he's gave us over the years, and I I would just hopefully that it stays kind of how it is, with the children now run the companies, because I think if they sell it to somebody like Peacock or any of these major networks buy it, it's the end of wrestling. They will send wrestling. I believe it'd be one of the quickest downfalls ever. It'll fall apart in months. They'll try to go
Mm,
all woke. They'll try to be all stupid about it. They don't understand the business. It's not like another entertainment business or Hollywood movies or anything like that. You know how it is. It's divided up in regions, like a little mafia, man. Guys that have been in this their whole life, different bookers, different promoters, stuff like that. Different territories, different payments under the table, all that. I don't think a big corporation is really knowing what they're getting into if they would buy it. They're not going to be able to operate it correctly. They're not going to be able to even run it or understand. They're going to want to change it 100% their way of doing business, and I think it'll be over. It'll be gone. They'll destroy it. Nobody will watch. They'll ruin it.
Well, with that problem, this is the kind of situation where it's pretty much all basically speculation. We really don't have any idea what happened between Vince and whatever woman A, B, C, D, E, F, however many there are. So the absolute possibility is there was some what do they call them, roadies, backstage girls, whatever, like the backstage rock and roll girls, and Vince was tossing them around, and they felt all used up, so they went after him because he's rich and powerful, or he's rich and powerful and he was abusing these women. And the the big problem is if he was abusing the women and they didn't out him then they basically got paid off to let a pervert go and abuse how many other women. So really, unfortunately, and Vince is never, you can't trust that. If Vince came out and made a statement, it's probably all a lie. If his lawyer says anything, it's probably all a lie. If any of these women say anything, it's probably all a lie. That's one of the other problems is they all lie. Gizzy Gary's in the house.
Closest thing I could think to in wrestling, as far as what you were just talking about, was the scandal that came out after Moolah died. All those women that she would pimp out to people, none of them came forward until had the guts to come forward and say anything about it when it was happening. But as soon as Moolah was dead, they all came out of the woodwork about it.
Well, I mean, the thing there is Moolah probably would have shot anybody, and the judge and the cop and all of them. She was crazy. And next week, Patriot, we're going to have in a big ring full of jello, midgets on roller skates.
Real quick, I want to address Rob's comment about age. You'd be surprised how many young people still watch wrestling, Rob. Just because your kids aren't and their friends aren't, don't mean there are. When you look at the crowds at these events, there are a lot of children in the audience wearing the John Cena T-shirts, Roman Reigns T-shirts, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, all the whoever's performing that night, they got their T-shirts and stuff on. In Japan, they even have stuffed animals and stuff with the guys. So yeah, wrestling, not just in the United States but around the world, is more popular than what a lot of people think.
Yeah, I think wrestling's popularity is okay. We just live in a different world and a different time. Maybe you call it the heyday in the mid 90s, but we really didn't have the internet like we have it today. We didn't have the things to do and keep us entertained by today. We were kind of glued more to the TV set. So with the current generations, the current lifestyles, and things like that, for wrestling to still be here and still have a piece of the market in the entertainment industry, and like you're saying, packing the pay-per-view stadiums and stuff, they're doing fine. They weathered the storm, and I think they're fine. There's plenty of viewers, man. Vince is a billionaire. I mean, there's plenty of viewers.
Yeah, real quick, I want to welcome Kev to the show. He's a guy who's been watching the show over the past few weeks, and I asked him last week if he wanted to jump on, and he said he'd be out for it. So,
honestly, I saw the thing, right? Y'all are talking about what happened with like Vince McMahon and him coming on, like him leaving, right? Because he just retired on Twitter.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, we were talking about him retiring and whatnot.
I feel like he's just not really retiring. I don't know. He probably just lied about it. I feel like he's still going to be in charge.
One that brings up another matter, right? He retired from the CEO and chairman and the head of the booking department, but he is still the single largest shareholder in the company. All the other shareholders in the company can get together and they do not have enough shares of stock in the company. If there was something that
Like,
came up
now,
for a vote, yeah, there's not enough votes between everybody else. I mean, everybody who owns a share of stock combined cannot equal Vince McMahon's number of shares. So
how much does he have in it, though? Like, does he have 80 or like 20 or like 50 or 60 or something
he
like that?
has well over 50% of the.
Hey, Rich. We got to do quick programming note. Welcome. Glad you could join us, Kevin. Is this the first time you've ever been on a live stream?
Not really, but like kind of at the same time.
Okay. Right now, your microphone's really loud.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, because I'm using a Chromebook. Let me try and fix my audio problems.
All right. Cool.
Is this better?
I adjusted your volume a little bit in StreamYard too. So
Yeah, I put it.
guys, if he sounds better, let us know.
Is this better, though, or no? I'm sorry about that.
No, we get it, man. It happens. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal. We're just trying to make sure it's a good experience for everybody. So
Rob,
don't feel like we're trying to like attack you or anything, man. We're just trying to make sure it's cool for everybody.
Rob out there said mine's a little low. So does mine sound better now, Rob?
Yeah, it should be okay.
Well, Kevin's the guest, so who cares how your mic sounds? Let's hear how Kevin sounds.
Uh-huh.
Better now or no?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, your volume's a little lower, but you still have like the can sound, but the volume is much better. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with the
beeping sound effect, because if it's a beeping sound, no, I think the beeping sound effect goes away.
we can deal with it if that's how that is. We can deal with that part, but the volume is much lower. So anyway, thanks for joining us, man. Please feel free to chime in anytime you want.
Honestly, I still say this. I think I should give NXT a chance. I know like how much you hate it, but I feel like they've gotten better. You saw what happened with like Trick Williams, or no? He had like this thing where he like was Muhammad Ali, I think.
Are you on your phone or a computer, Kev? Just out of curiosity.
I'm on my Chromebook.
Oh, your Chromebook? Okay.
Yes.
Are you using the built-in microphone?
Yes.
Okay, that could be part of it too.
Yeah, they're not that good. Yeah, but it like works decently enough.
Yeah, the Chromebooks, they don't tend to put as good a microphone as they do in the like Windows laptops or Mac laptops, which sucks, especially with how much Chromebooks cost these days.
How much do they cost? Don't they cost like $200?
Not anymore. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the prices on a good new Chromebook anymore. You can pay as much as you would for a Windows laptop now, and I'm talking a good Windows laptop for a Chromebook.
That is like stupid. That is like very terrible. In fact, I thought like, if I'm being honest, this like might sound really stupid, but like I think a Chromebook is less useful than a phone in some cases.
Yeah. But yeah, you can.
They have
Say again. You broke up a little bit there.
well, Chromebooks they don't have like anything of value really.
Yeah, you can get Chromebooks now that have Intel i7 processors in them.
Rich, don't geek out the chat, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm not meaning to. It just happens.
So, when's the next pay per view event?
I can tell
For
you that it's on July 28th.
It's next Saturday, a week from today.
Well, okay, well, we'll scratch this one, but and maybe the next one. I don't know how they plan them out, but before too long, we're gonna have some wrestling that's pretty much 100% under the control of like Stephanie and Triple H.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Vince has probably already laid the groundwork for these, right? Is what I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to
would
get at.
assume. I would
So in the
assume so.
future, it's going to be uh, like their package put together. Then, right?
Yeah, I would assume that next week is pretty much already booked, according to Vince's ideas of what they were going to do at SummerSlam, especially with Brock being in the main event. You know, it's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in a last man standing match for the main event next week.
So
That
so
sounds
who? What
it is.
would be? What would be some of Triple H's duties? Like if Vince is not there, like who's going to be negotiating the contracts and deciding
That would be
what they're
Triple
going to
H's job.
pay?
Yeah, that would be Triple H's job as the executive vice president of talent relations. Basically, he's the HR department that takes care of the making sure that they file their taxes properly, they get their contracts negotiated, they get paid every week. That's what the talent relations department is.
Well, I hope he's got enough heart for the job.
Low joke there, Jason. So you were getting ready to say something too, Kev. What were you going to say?
So, like, I think, right? I think that, like, SummerSlam is going to be a very mediocre pay-per-view, which I said, but, like, I think SummerSlam might have the potential of, like, what is the next card for SummerSlam like that?
Yeah, here's the thing, man. We all thought that the last pay per view was going to be, for lack of a better term, a shit show, and that was probably the best.
But like, if you look at like records, that paper had like more of a chance of being good because at least there was Austin Theory and Morgan. So like, if you look at statistics in that way, it had a better chance of being good in like Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but remember, we said it last week. When WWE's backs are against the wall, is when they put on their best shows.
Because like, if we're being honest, we said like most Hell in a Cell would be mediocre, right? And we were right. Like most of the show was terrible up until Cody and Austin Theory. If we were really being honest, it was a pretty bad pay-per-view.
I don't know, man. Kingpin gave a women's match a 9.5 out of
That
10.
was for like Money in the Bank. He gave the women's match. He didn't give any of the Hell in a Cell women's matches anything, and I don't even blame him.
That female ladder match was outstanding. But
Yeah, that match was really good though. So like Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
Not
did
Hell
you
in
see
a Cell.
did you see the fan reactions? Because I watched SmackDown on replay earlier tonight. They were pumping in the boos and stuff when Theory came out last night. If you were looking at the crowd reaction, not listening to the sound, but actually looking at the crowd reactions, he was getting no reaction from the crowd at all.
I'm not gonna lie, it's probably because Austin Theory, as much as I hate to say this, has become boring. Because like my teacher, right, like Austin Theory, but he really does not care for him at all. But like I'm kind of starting to see why some people don't care for him. Because like he's a child gimmick character to a certain extent, and I feel like they're really amping it up more and more now.
Uh, I hate to skip off of WWE, but on my YouTube, I got the videos popped up this week from AEW and the Jericho barbed wire everywhere match. Did you happen to see that?
Yes, I did. I watched it. That was brutal.
Did you
I can
see
share
the?
my screen. Oh,
Oh, did you see the extra part where the stretcher came out and the barb and the bolt cutters and cut Jericho free, and they loaded him on a stretcher.
Yeah, yeah. He was really tangled up in that board with the barbed wire at the end when Kingston threw him into it. He really got tangled in that barbed wire. It was not pretty.
Yeah, I think he might have really had a piece poked into the thigh and caught in like his outfit, his pants materials. And every time they tried to move him, he was probably getting cut worse.
Yeah, he almost ended up with a piece in his eye.
Oh yeah, I seen that part too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. If you're into that hardcore barbed wire match shit, that one between Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho from Dynamite this past week, that was a barn. That was right up there with the ones that Mick Foley and Terry Funk would have had back in the day.
Yeah, we've seen barbed wire matches, but truly, this was barbed wire everywhere.
Yeah, I think only one side of the ring didn't have barbed wire on it, or at least one corner of one side of the ring.
Now, I didn't understand why why his crew, why his buddies were locked in a cage, lifted up above the
Oh, that goes
ring
back
like
to
that,
the '80s. Don't you
so they
back?
could,
Yeah, that
so they
goes all
couldn't
the way back.
interfere. Yeah.
Yeah, that goes all the way back to the '80s. You would see like Mr. Fuji and Jim Cornette and the managers always being locked in these cages and lifted above the ring so that they couldn't cheat. But then you'd have like Jim Cornette throw the tennis racket down to the guys, or Mr. Fuji would grab a bag of salt and throw it down to whoever was his guy was who was in the match. So, yeah, that was a throwback to the '80s right there. And at the same time, they were helping promote Shark Week, which is also now because of the merge between Time Warner and Discovery Incorporated, part of that family of things as well. So being in the shark cage itself and not just a steel cage hoisted above the ring, but being in an actual shark cage, that was part of the promotion for Shark Week as well.
Did you notice when the other girl stole the key? They beat up the other girl. Her little stupid blonde ass couldn't work a key lock. She couldn't get a master lock open.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the smaller wrestlers actually
They
fit
climbed
through the bars and got out.
Oh yeah,
And
you
the
can
bigger guys were like waiting, like, can somebody else take that key from her and show her how you unlock a padlock?
yeah,
That's what it was. It was like a master padlock. She's
Yeah.
only got the key, and she can't get this to function.
Yeah, the other girl had to figure out how to work the mechanism that rose and lowered the cage. This idiot couldn't figure out how to open a goddamn padlock.
Yeah, she's one of the people. She's probably got a car. You just push a button to start it. She really doesn't know what a key does, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll give her. I'll give maybe she. It was her first time with a key. I don't know.
I'm talking about like the bunny from AEW, right? Like the girl who went through Dark Order.
No, he's talking about Tay Conti. Remember her from
I don't like
NXT?
I don't care for her at all. She kind of ruined Sammy Guevara, in my opinion. Like, Sammy Guevara was, like, kind of entertaining without her. Even when she joined him, I didn't find him that entertaining.
Yeah, Tay Conti couldn't figure out how to open up a freaking padlock. And that, but what's her face from Dark Order? Anna Jay could figure out how to raise and lower the cage with that, you know. So
Some
she
people
had the hard job.
on just, like, hires. Like, have you seen some of his roster? It's kind of bogus. Let me share my screen so I can show y'all it. But, like, some of his roster is kind of bogus. This is why I, like, kind of support when, like, WWE does budget at times. Because, like, some of the people he signs don't do anything, and they're all on Dark.
Oh yeah, part of the problem they don't have as much TV time as what
That's
WWE was. Yeah, they got Friday night. It's an hour on TNT with Rampage compared to 2 hours for SmackDown, and then Raw against Dynamite. Raw's 3 hours. Dynamite's only 2 hours.
I thought they had. I remember Dynamite used to be 2 hours. Well, it was always 2 hours. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's always 2 hours.
An hour. That sounds bad, but it's not. But they'll put everyone on their YouTube show. I don't get that because it's like the YouTube show is not the show that makes them the most money, I guess. So it's like,
Yeah, they got 2 YouTube shows. They got one on Monday and one on Tuesday.
God.
You got Elevation on Mondays and then Dark on Tuesdays.
They added in, I guess, then there's like half of the roster I don't even know, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, look at here's what you got to look at, okay? If you get, this is Warner, basically, which would have been Turner back in the day. If you look at the way Turner did things, we'll go back to the 90s with you had Nitro on Mondays, Thursdays they had Thunder, and then Saturdays, Sundays they did the Saturday and Sunday show. Okay, you look at Rampage. Rampage is the Thunder show, which is you get some of the big name stars on there, but it's not. He's not getting the kind of big name matches like you would have on Nitro with Thunder. You got the same thing with Rampage. Rampage, you got some of the big guys showing up, but you don't have as big of matches as you would on Dynamite, which would be the equivalent of Nitro, which Nitro was 3 hours. Nitro was the first wrestling show to be 3 hours. So, but you also got to look at Time Warner. They control the time that the shows get. There's not much really that Tony Khan can do about that because he doesn't own the network. Remember back when Nitro was 3 hours. That went on the air when what's his face, Ted Turner was still owning the company. So Ted Turner was a big wrestling fan. Right now, and you don't have that. And the whole reason why WCW folded was because Turner sold it to Time Warner, and they wanted out of the wrestling business. So they sold it to the first person to come along who had the money. And depending on who you talk to, that was either going to be Eric Bischoff, but Eric Bischoff's deal fell through because Time Warner decided not to sell to him. They sold to Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And
but like, I don't get why they don't do budget cuts because they're getting at that point they're losing a lot of money. Is what I don't get with AEW.
Okay,
because they have like so much people doing so much stuff, but like so much of them aren't needed at all. Like, let's say Sky Blue. I mean, she's one of the more popular people on Dark, but like, I didn't know who the hell she was for like.
Yeah, she was just on Rampage this week. Yeah, she was just on Rampage this week, but
she was.
Yep, she was in a tag team match. Her and one of the other chicks from Dark, whose name I can't remember, took on Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter.
And then they just put together random tag teams, like I don't know, like Swerve and Keith Lee, like them getting tag team championships, just like felt like a shoehorned way in. Just I don't know, just like we use WWE talent well.
Well, no, that wasn't shoehorned. That's actually part of an ongoing storyline about whether, if you look at it, whether Keith Lee is going to be able to trust Swerve. They're playing that kind of storyline with it. And that was supposed to play into the Hardys storyline until Jeff went and got himself arrested for a DUI again, which is why they had to throw the Young Bucks in there basically as the interim champions, I guess you could say, or the transitional champions, because that was supposed to be the Hardys that lost the championship to Swerve and Our Glory.
I actually like their name though, so they're gonna go. Wait, are you speaking about like my speaker New York Outcast? Because there's people going outside my one, or if they're blasting music, so I don't know.
No, we can't hear you. He lives in New York State, so he's probably got a bunch of weirdos outside his house.
Yeah,
I just had it.
Oh, sorry about that.
I just hopped in, man. Was you talking to me? I've been gone for like 2-3 minutes. We had activity outside here at my house.
What is it? A full moon tonight? I don't know because we got like a storm system. We got a storm system in the area, so I can't see the stars or anything.
I was about ready to say something when I dropped off. I just pulled my earplugs, popped outside between the house and the garage. Shots fired right next door.
Oh shit!
Well, one door away, but I could see all the way across because of my neighbor's yard. You know, there's no trees or anything. The guy 2 doors down here, him and his buddy are out back. I think they shot a shotgun, probably like pointed into the ground or something, just see if it works or something. Fired 2 shots. I peeked out, but like they're not fighting or nothing. And like, dude's wife came out at the back door yelling at him for doing that, being stupid.
Yeah.
They're just kind of looking it over, so maybe they were just testing it to see if it worked or something like that. But
It's kind of stupid to do at 10 o'clock at night where you live, Jason.
yeah, especially because I was drawing and peeking my head around the corner right there, like I don't know, maybe I should stay inside, but like, yeah, man, when your neighbors are armed, man, be out there shooting, because I don't know what you're shooting at. But
Yeah.
once I seen it there for a few minutes, it wasn't no panic. I could tell it was just 2 dudes checking it out, man. They looking it over and stuff, so they just probably fired it into the dirt or something. But his wife's on the case, man. She's laying down the law, so he won't be doing that no more.
Yeah, if this was Kingpin's area, that would be an average Saturday night.
That's the old neighborhood.
If it's junkies looking for like someone, why don't you just give them money? They'll probably leave you alone if you give them like $20 or something.
Actually, man, there's gunshots around here all the time. 1 or 2 shots doesn't really catch anybody's attention. It's the mag dumping that raises your eyebrows.
Where Rob lives, you give a junkie money and they're trying to, the next thing you know, they got a gun on you wanting more.
That's kind of scummy. I mean, like, if you give a junkie money, why not just take the money that you give them already? This just seems kind of trash.
Yeah, that's a hard thing there, Rob. Very right. I mean, it's
like in my neighborhood, if I give someone, but I'm in Rhode Island, so Rhode Island's kind of just like hella calm. But if I give like a junkie, like let's say, or a crackhead, I usually offer them money anyway, just to leave them alone. But like if I give them, let's say $20 or like $10, they'll usually like leave me alone.
What's Rob going on about? A young girl that even got her shoes on?
yeah, the junkie that's outside his house causing.
Oh, the junkie. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, hey, man, I like the young girls barefoot, man. Shorty shorts. There's nothing wrong with that, but I didn't know he was talking about the lady that like nails stuff up on the telephone poles and shit.
Hey Jason, hey Rich, what's a crackhead's favorite catchphrase?
What is it?
Can I borrow a dollar?
Patriot's got a good point. Rob giving up $20.
Like, alright, Rob, hear me out. Like, they're homeless is why I would give them money. But like, if they're being annoying, then no. Like, if they're going up to you and saying, "Oh, give me money," hell no. Like, I would want to beat the hell out of them.
Yeah, well, no. Yeah, but you got to understand something about Rob. He's a tightwad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, ain't no way Rob's giving up a 20.
Oh, hell no, Rob ain't giving up a 5.
He'll woo her in with alcohol, man. That's all he'll do.
You're gonna give a freaking a drug fiend alcohol? That seems worse.
What Rob is going to do is he's going to throw a pack of shingles on her back and say, if you want $20, put them up on that roof right there.
Here, stir this cement.
Watch out for nails with his bare feet.
Uh-huh.
How young was that girl, Will? Guys? Like, was she like 10? No, that's not. But what am I saying?
He didn't say. He just said it's a young girl.
Like,
You know,
how
Rob.
young? And was this girl hot?
You know, Rob. All fairness aside, jokes aside, you ought to be a better person, a better human being, a better member of community. Go give the girl $20, man.
Exactly.
She probably sold her shoes for food money, man. I mean, have a little compassion, man. Go grab an old pair of shoes, man, $20, and go out there and give it to her.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you should buy her food too. Let her cross at your place for a bit. That could be helpful.
Tell her if she comes back tomorrow, you'll show her how to use a hammer.
With a hammer, why? To hammer on nails or something else?
Oh, Rob's a contractor.
Oh, so he like fixes houses.
Yeah.
I thought he like.
Yeah. And this girl he's talking about, she goes out and nails stuff on telephone poles,
I thought she
swinging the hammer backwards, like pounding in the nails with the claw part. Don't know how to use a hammer.
Oh, I thought you meant like something else that would be like disgusting. What am I thinking about? Never mind.
Get your head out the gutter, man. What's wrong with you?
Was this like junkie hot in New York or like no? Was it like an ugly junkie or like a hot junkie? Because I would give them like $50 if it was a hot one. Just saying. Relatively speaking, of course, like I feel like that could be a good deal.
I mean, your logic's not really wrong. I mean, hotter girls do deserve more money, so.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
who knows if they're on crack? I mean,
You know, with what Rob's got going on outside his door, and what I got going on out here, man, I don't feel so bad about my redneck Hilligan neighbors, man. You know what I mean? I might have to, raise the value of my house a little bit and sell it.
New York, so she's an attractive woman, and you're not gonna try and date her just because she's a junkie? Wow. How
Kev, Rob's attached, man. I don't think his lady would be too keen on it.
Oh, okay. I thought like she was like single or something.
Patriot's right. Rob ought to go out there and tell her to eat a
$20
salad.
shoes and a big salad. I mean, Patriots got the jokes tonight, man.
Damaged goods, like she's used by a whole block of like people, or no, like damaged goods, or like just by one person. Damaged goods.
I think he's saying she's damaged goods because of being a junkie.
Who cares about that? I thought you meant like damaged goods in like other ways.
Oh no, man! You don't get in a relationship with a junkie. That's not good. That ends up bad every time.
Yeah, that's a hard pass on that one.
I feel bad for people who do drugs, but I don't at the same time because like they chose their life decisions, but like still.
Yeah, he says she's mentally abused and probably physically too. Yeah, that makes it even worse, man.
Never mind then.
Yeah, that's a sad story.
If she's not, and like she's just a crackhead, and like, but like she's hot, that doesn't really matter. It's my question.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I don't really care what you do for your life. You're not my kid. I'm not your dad. If you want to throw your life away, go ahead and do it. But don't steal my shit to pay for it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Kev's got a pretty interesting point in the way we describe things, because anytime you say somebody who smokes crack, somebody who's addicted to crack, they're a crackhead, which would be accurate. But when we hear a crackhead, we always associate it with like kooky.
Yeah, bad. I know like some people don't buy this, but I think crackheads can be like, I've met some nice people who are crackheads. Not even like ask for money. I don't feel like all of them are trying to be bad people. I just feel like some people just had bad times and stuff.
What if Melania Trump smoked crack?
Then fuck no, I don't think anyone would give a shit at all. I feel bad.
I think I would smoke crack with her if she did.
If Melania Trump was a junkie, would you date her?
That's what I'm saying. She could be the same Melania Trump, but just every 45 minutes she's got to step outside and hit the pipe.
If I no, I'd walk.
You're literally lying.
No, I'm not lying, dude. I've done it.
Not with Melania Trump.
I'd live with it, man, because I'm only good for 5 minutes anyway.
What about Kim Kardashian?
Oh, I would walk even as soon as I saw her the first time. It's like I'd walk the other direction.
I'd ask her, I'd say, hey, let me hit some of that crack before I leave.
You don't know what diseases Kim Kardashian's carrying.
The disease that you do know she's carrying is pain in the ass.
Fucking
This is true.
liberalism is what she suffers from also.
I
I could put up with a crack addiction. I can't put up with that.
Do you remember that video of her saying work? That video pissed me off. Where she was like, people don't work these days and they want everything. And then it's like Kim Kardashian saying that. That video is stupid to me.
Those Kardashians are such evil, terrible people. Look what they did to Bruce Jenner. They ruined a man. They're man killers. Look what they did to Bruce, man.
They made a guy think he's a woman.
Yes, them women are
I don't
evil.
think they did that to him. He did it to himself, like he wanted to be a woman or gender transition or stuff like that.
He was married to their mother when he... that family drove Bruce Jenner nuts to the point where he thought he was a woman.
Plus they are dead concerned that they're dead on their belief that OJ didn't do it either. So
Well, that's because they're famous. Dude, they're famous because their dad was one of OJ's lawyers, man. Of course they're going to say that.
They're famous because of you know what, actually, for being fully honest.
No, you know how they got their show and stuff? They got their show before their father died because he was one of OJ's lawyers.
Kim Kardashian was naked banging some Africans.
That's how they got rich, because the tape.
their own TV
No, this
show.
was before the tape. They had the TV show before the tape. That's why the tape was such a big deal.
But she hit superstardom. She's who she is now because she did a porno. If she didn't do the porno, that whole "my daddy was OJ's lawyer" would have fizzled out years ago.
Yeah, but she's with all the
wouldn't
big
have
stars too, man. She's just a Hollywood hoe. I mean, that's what keeps her.
She wouldn't have done the porno if her dad weren't OJ's lawyer, which got them the show in the first place. So the reason why they're famous ain't because she did the porn; it's because of who her daddy was. The porn just came about as a means from that.
I said, really.
Popular though, I don't think everyone would know who Kim Kardashian is without that.
I don't know. The
She
show
hit
was a popular
pop culture
feature.
superstardom because she was banging that dude on camera.
Well, we may not have whatever known Kim Kardashian, but I tell you, because of them, generations won't know Bruce Jenner.
You know her kid saw the tape, right? There was this episode of the Kardashian show, and it was so funny. I was watching it, and I was I don't know why I watched it. I didn't watch it. I saw the clip of it actually. I want to watch such as Rebel as that, but the clip showed her child, and he was like, "Look, mommy, look," and then he showed the sequel to the tape. Apparently, there was going to be a sequel to the tape, and it was on Roblox.
Real quick, Rob said he's not above. He doesn't mind helping someone that made some mistakes, but he's not enabled. Yeah, and the thing you got to realize with anybody that has any kind of addiction, they're not going to fight that addiction until they hit a point where they realize they have to fight that addiction and they realize that they need help doing it. Until that point, you can try and help them all you damn well please. And I'm speaking from experience here. I had a friend in high school whose mother killed herself, and it drove her to turn to heroin because she blamed herself, and she ended up ODing, and there was nothing we could do to stop her. Nothing. We tried our damnedest to get her to go get help and stuff. She would not do
You
it.
know what? I have a plan. How about you just slap her and beat her up? Boom.
What good's that going to do? That's just going to make her realize that she has no friends anymore.
It will be like tough love. We're beating you up because we
That's
have to.
no. That's not going to help anything, Kev. That's just going to make things worse, man.
Sometimes you're on a downward journey in life, and other times you're in a spiral. And if you're in a downward spiral, it doesn't stop till the end. So, as sad as it is, some people gave up a long time ago before you even tried to help them. So your help is useless.
You can take all her drugs and all her money. Boom. Then she can't do anything.
The problem with opioids is there's the mental addiction, which all of us would probably think, okay, you could get over that. You can just stay clean. You can just stay around friends. There's a physical addiction that is what keeps 99.9% of people addicted to opioids. And the fear of that physical addiction, which they call withdrawals, is basically what keeps people high. And not, let me not mix words. People enjoy being high. I'm not going to say that people don't like getting high, but everybody that wakes up one day is like, oh, I want to change my life. I want to change my life. They get dope sick. And there's nothing more important than not being dope sick anymore. And you can't, until a person is either get some type of treatment to help wean off and not get dope sick and be able to wean off the drugs or use, different types of chemicals to get off of that, or you got some time where you can just go through it and suck for a month, 2 months, some people 6 months, some people a day. It all depends on how bad it is for you and the body chemistry and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
But
remember that my state ad, right? My state ad had this idea of like drug fiends, and I hated the idea, but I kind of respect it the more I think about it.
Yeah. One thing you got to realize, man, when a junkie ODs, and if they have a parent that cares, that's the worst thing you can see is the parent at the funeral for their child, man. I I'll never forget um her dad's face, man, at that funeral. I will never forget it. That's just one of many memories in my head that I don't want, but it's one I have to live with. And her, I can't even talk about it because it to this day it's still hard to fathom and describe.
So
I
like
got a memory in my head I can't get rid of either. It's because Kingpin put the vision in my mind of Melania Trump being passed out most of the fucking time.
no, crackheads. Hunter Biden passed out because he was 7 or 8 days into a binge. Crackheads don't be passing out very often.
but my state alright, and I think Biden was gonna pass it. They were gonna have this rule, right? And there was gonna be a crack house where everyone could do crack and they would give out drugs. But like they arrested the dosage every week. I think it could have worked maybe. Like so people don't have to do it anymore. What do you think about it though? So they like give out drugs and they would just give people drugs but then lower the doses and then lower them. Try and make them stop.
Those are called methadone clinics. And
Yeah.
in theory, you'd have to run a methadone clinic a very, very strict way and start somebody, and that's for an opioid addiction, not I mean, I guess you'd have to come up with a different treatment for other drugs. But the theory of a methadone clinic is I'm going to get off heroin, so I'm going to go get methadone, whether it's voluntary or involuntary. So I can take this methadone and get through my day without using heroin.
You
The
know, I should.
problem there,
You know
the
why?
problem with methadone clinics is generally the person on the methadone gets to set their dosage. So you always start at a real high dosage, and then you go down and you go up, you go down and you go up, and people don't get off of methadone. They just do methadone instead of heroin.
Oh yeah, even
Hmm.
if you get off and you're like cleaning your life up, you're on that. I know people that's on that going on probably 15 years now.
Methadone's almost impossible to get off of, and that was kind of the design ultimately, which is the bad part about it because it could work if it was administered properly and very strictly, but just allowing it the way it's run right now, it makes me feel that it was designed to make people stay on methadone forever.
Kev don't know this, but you two do. My wife worked at the local hospital ER
I
up in
know
there.
that. You don't think I know that? I knew that. I know everything. I am a god.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I only
Anyway,
about being a god. It was like I go up to Jesus. He said, "What up, Jesus?"
anyway, she would come home talking about how, well, just had the same damn addict come in for the third time this week on an overdose.
That
They
seems.
just
I mean, see,
heroin.
there. That's kind of mean to say about people.
Well, no, it's because she worked in the ER. These same people will come in week after week after week after week on
Yeah.
overdoses. They give them a shot of that drug that wakes them back up.
Narcan.
Yeah, Narcan. They hit him with that Narcan. They be in the house. They keep an eye on them for a couple of hours and send them right back out. Next thing you know, a couple of days later, they're right back in the ER again with an overdose.
Yeah, that's how it is here too, man. You can listen to the police scanner here, and you can hear from stories of people that know people stuff. They Narcan the same people over and over and over and over, day after day after day.
Yeah, she said, man, I wish that she literally and her coworkers all tell you the same thing, that they wish they would do something where they weren't obligated to revive these people, because it's the only way they're going to learn. You can't. You hit them with the Narcan, they go back out, they get high, and right back in the hospital again.
Man, I'll tell you something else that's fucked up about that lifestyle.
Honestly,
Uh,
I should take drugs for one reason of like there's a study, right? And you get paid like $1,000. I might take like one drug so I can like say, "Oh, I did drugs. Now give me money." That sounds like a good plan.
yeah, well, I say what's fucked up about that lifestyle is like on the news here or something, somebody overdoses and dies, and they put it on the news that there's some bad stuff going around, some stuff that's 10 times more powerful than last week's batch or whatever, man. And you would think that would scare people off, but it's the opposite. When these people hear that, like, my town has got the killer shit, and I mean shit that actually kills you,
They're hyped up
they
about
can't wait to get here to buy
it.
it.
That sounds like cool.
They come from towns all around that wouldn't normally come here. They flock to wherever they hear on the news. 8 people died because of the fentanyl that's in it. Whatever. They're attracted to that. They rush from out of town to come buy it, man. That's like the best for business if you're a dealer, for the news to broadcast that people are dying. Ain't that screwed up?
Really,
Not really.
real quick.
If they think about it, those drug dealers are making more money. They're supporting their
To Rob's point there, the statement I put up on the screen of his, that's exactly what my wife said. Give them one shot, and if they come back in again, that's it.
Yeah, Texas guys in give them drugs, right? So like the drug dealers get money out of it. If you think about it from the drug dealer's perspective, all they're doing is getting paid at the end of the day. A job's a job, and you need everyone for a job.
again, with the mind of an addiction to opioids, that's basically what we're talking about. When people first start getting high, they have a low tolerance, just like if alcohol or cigarettes or anything else you introduce new to your system, you're going to have a low tolerance, and then you're going to build up that tolerance. The thing that happens when you're on opioids, whether they're prescription medicines or street drugs, your tolerance at a certain point in time starts going back down, and it starts going back down quite rapidly. So yesterday you got up and you shot a gram in one shot, and that was just to get you through the day kind of stuff, because you're going to do 2 more grams that day. And tomorrow you're going to wake up and you're going to bang a half a gram and fall out and be gone, or just, I don't want to get into a whole lot of terminology, but you're going to basically do a res hit in the morning because you ain't got nothing left, and that's enough to kill you, because the body can only tolerate so much, and your junkie mindset doesn't understand. You think, I need more, I need more, I need more, I need more, and at one point in time your body says, that's it, I can't take anymore, and your tolerance drops off. And that's why a lot of people start overdosing. They blame it on the fentanyl, but that's the way junkies have been forever, before fentanyl even existed.
Honestly, I was checking the pay-per-view card for SummerSlam. It actually looks really good.
You broke up there a little, Kev. What were you saying? You're breaking up, man.
Yeah, your audio is going in the trash can.
Yeah, you're breaking up real bad, Kev. Didn't hear anything what you just said.
Neither else either.
Like your internet or something. No, it still breaks up like bad, like is you're on Wi-Fi or booze.
Is it back?
Yeah, try it now.
Is it working now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I sometimes have to do that. I'll just close my computer down for like some seconds and then I will come back. But
all right, gentlemen. Well, I'm gonna have to skate on out of here, but I appreciate you having me, Rich. It's been a real good show, Jason. Kevin, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully you'll come back and we'll get the audio stuff worked out. But it's been real fun having you with us, so appreciate you too. Everybody
He's already agreed he's got to come back. He's got to come back for tomorrow night's show.
I got Also, I have a question. Not WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Do y'all have a link to it, or no? Or y'all watching it legally?
Yeah, I'll send links out like I did for this show next week. Only there will be 2 links where we'll watch, and then we'll also chat about what's going on. Like we
Y'all all have a screen share feature. Like all like together, right?
Say again.
Yeah, I have a screen share feature where I'll all like put it on, right? Or no?
Yeah, I'll share for you guys to watch. So yeah, I got you covered.
I'm sorry for like the quality of my sound doing that.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know how old you are or if you got a job or anything, but you can get a cheap mic at Walmart that might work a little bit better. Because those Chromebooks, they don't put really good mics in them.
I've been trying to get a job, but it's very hard. Honestly, I've been like searching for months. I managed to get some stuff though.
Yeah, because I can tell by the way you're talking and stuff, you're younger than we are. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, I'm not sure exactly if you're living on your own or with your parents or like if you got a job or anything. But if you're gonna really want to get into doing the streaming stuff with us, a $20 microphone at Walmart or even a dollar store, you can find them at like a Dollar General or something too, man. That'll be a big improvement over what they put in the Chromebook.
they last long and already decent enough though.
To get you started, yeah.
How long will like a regular mic last? Like one of those.
As long as you take care of it, it'll last for a good while. Or like Rob out there in the chat says, even a cheap pair of earbuds that have a mic on them will work.
Yeah, I'll try looking at the earbuds.
Oh, you got earbuds with the earbuds have a mic in them, right? Do they work with your Do they? Do you have an iPhone? Because you can open the link on a cell phone.
And I think it would work way better on cell phone at the thing. But I don't have a cell phone anymore. I lost it. I can like tell you. So like I would have this thing.
Will your earbuds connect? Will the earbuds connect to your Chromebook?
Damn! All right, I'm getting violated. But yeah, they do actually. I think my headphones.
Yeah, if you got the ones that have the mic built into them, yeah, that'll be a better option than what you have built into the Chromebook.
They're literally broken. I think they're literally broken. I managed to break them in like a week because they're so bad.
Yeah, with them little foam headphone sets with a little microphone on them, that's what I used for years.
I didn't even have
$20 or so.
20, and they're so bad.
Hell, man. Kev, you're in the group, man. Patriot is making jokes about you now, so you're in.
He was like violating me. He literally said, "Throw out the window," and I was like, "Damn, all right."
When the guys start making jokes about you, you're in.
Okay, Rob says don't buy skull candy ones. They only worked for a few months.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't, and Amazon, man, one of like the Amazon Basics mics, people knock.
Let me check that out.
Yeah, Amazon Basics, it's like their house brand, Amazon's house brand. Oh, they have some pretty decent stuff.
I love them. They have their cookies, right? And like I do like hella deal searching, right? And like their cookies are like, you know how much their vanilla wafers are?
No, I haven't priced. I don't generally buy food on Amazon. I buy like computer stuff and stuff like that on Amazon mostly.
I love Amazon.
Yep, Patriot's got to take off. So, yep. Have a good night, Patriot.
Later, Patriot. Thanks again for the stuff I got in the mail, buddy. I appreciate that. Pretty awesome stickers, pretty awesome magnets, man. Thank you.
How do you set up a computer mic? Does it?
I'll plug it in and it'll.
You set it up in what way? Yeah, hold on. You set it up in what way, Kevin? You talking about putting one together or just setting up one that you bought already assembled?
And then, right, is what you do, right? And it will work, right?
Well, again, it depends on if you're just buying one at like Walmart or if you're putting one together yourself.
No, I'm not doing all that. That seems like a lot of extra work for like nothing.
Yeah,
no, it's actually easy.
You should plug it in. You should be able to plug it in and it should recognize it and tell you if it's ready to go. If not, you probably have to go to your settings for sound and audio and choose the microphone and choose the headsets like out of the list to which ones the computer's gonna use, and it should just take it automatically, really, or give you some kind of pop-up that says, hey, here's your new microphone.
Alright, I'm gonna check on Amazon right now, like for the cheapest price for a computer microphone. Thank you for telling me about this information that I didn't think of checking for.
Yeah, like on my setup, I'm using earbuds right now, basically, headphones, but I also have speakers, for like normal computing. So I just have to go in and hit the settings button and go in the list and change my sound from speakers to headphones is all. They're like both in the list right there, and you just choose one or the other.
Right now, my microphone is actually built into my webcam. My webcam has stereo microphones built into it. Now, my headset, on the other hand, is a $200 pair of Sennheiser Studio headphones. They're not cheap headphones that I'm using.
My headphones are like, I think they have a microphone built in them also right here. But I don't use it. I got my 2 pair at the gas station for like $5 or $6.
Oh, I'm gonna see on my screen. I'm gonna ask y'all if this is a decent mic or not. Let me show it. Share screen. Oh boy.
Yeah, down at there. It's right. It should be right down there at the bottom of your screen. There, you got it.
That's right. I only can show it for some seconds because I don't want my thing like fully lagging out.
Yeah. It doesn't got that good of reviews. Yeah, it doesn't have all that good of reviews. It's, what is that? 3.5 stars on that? If that, maybe 3.25.
Reviews on it.
Yeah.
This mic is great for anybody who's just okay. That sounds good. A tiny microphone. I bought this lately. Let me check the critical review.
Yeah, until you can get money to. Yeah, but look at the 1 star. That's what you gotta look at. You got about 20% that are 1 star. I wouldn't with that high of a 1 star reviews. You're looking at 1/5 of all reviews being 1 star. Yeah, I'd avoid that one.
So like 4 stars. I think I should check 3 stars because 3 stars balances out stuff. That's what I usually check.
But when you're looking at reviews, don't go with the overall star count. You want to look at the low star count. Like you got 48% or 46%, whatever it was, said 5, but look at the amount that are only giving it 1 star. The people that are going to complain the most, or the ones, or they're going to be the most likely to do a review and stuff, are generally going to be the ones that don't like a product. With the 1 star, look at that, because those are the people that aren't going to be happy with it.
It works for a month and a half and then stops working after a month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to look at the 1 star reviews when you look at a review like that.
Let me check for 5-star product. Because I checked for $10 and that was $9.99, so that doesn't seem that
Well,
bad.
yeah, you can find good product for $10, but that ain't it. When you got 20% of all reviews being 1 star, yeah, don't buy that.
Ooh, this one's 4 stars. This looks stupid though. I don't like how this is set up. Well, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because my things I'm probably late.
Yeah. But what you want to look at, you want to look at the number of reviews and the percentage of those reviews that are 1 star. If you got a high percentage that are 1 star, that's nope, I'm walking away from that. Like, I don't know. Here's one that's $15.49. Okay, let me go over here. Let me go back over here and I'll share this one. It looks similar to the first one you were looking at, but there's something I want to show you when I pull it up. Okay.
All right.
Look at the number of stars. You got 4.5 stars. You got 5,700 people that reviewed this product, and you only got 6% that are 1 star.
What do the 1 stars say though?
Well, it's not as important of what they say. It's the fact that you got a low percentage of people giving it that 1 star. You look at the percentage that are giving it 4 and 5 star compared to only 6% 1 star. That's a good review. That's a good review ratio right there, with the number of reviews that product has.
Hey, that microphone doesn't look too bad. Has that got a mute button there at the bottom of it?
Yeah, this one for a starter mic may not be bad. And I don't know. We can look here too. We can see the price changes because I got this program called Honey, which lets you do that. You can see how.
I use Honey.
Yeah. So we go over here to Honey and we look at the price changes, and it's had a low of 13 and a high of 16 within the last 30 days. Yeah. So, and then we can go and look at the overall for the last 120 days, for the last 3 months, and you can see that's come down in price a little bit from its high. So, it might be a good buy at this point, because you just because it dropped down to 1104 back in June doesn't mean it's going to 2 again. And this one here was probably around Prime Day, so 1550 for a starter mic, that might do you good. That might
that
be.
don't seem bad at all. Okay, I'm reading their description. It does have a mute button and an LED light indicator. Man, that's not too bad.
Yeah, and it's got noise cancel. You're supposed to have noise cancellation for any background noises. So I mean, to try as something that's not super expensive, this might be a good option for you for a starter mic.
You might be right. You know what you're talking about with it. But yeah, I wonder if I don't know if I can get it right by next week, because I have my thing with I'm trying to GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop. What you said? Caught with something about GameStop,
right? I have full membership, right? So I'm trying to do a deal, and every month for pro membership you get $5. So I'm trying to wait till August to buy all my stuff, and I'm trying to get an Amazon gift card for probably $50 in August. But that $5 gonna add to it. So I'm trying to buy all my stuff there in 1 month, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah. Well, you might be able to find a program, because Chromebooks will use the Play Store. So if you look on the Android Play Store,
quality or something like that, yeah, I probably could.
Yeah, to see if you can improve the sound quality on it. Yeah, you try to get that calibrated.
Honestly, the Chrome Store has this pop-up system. The Chrome Store is decent enough for Chromebook, because it has some good apps on it, but some just straight out don't do anything at all.
Now here's another one. It's got 1,000 views, and we're looking at another. It's got almost the same kind of ratio as the $15 one, and it's $12.99.
All right, send me that one. Actually, I'll probably rather buy the cheaper one. But can you send it to me?
Send I can send you. Yeah, I'll email you the link to it.
Thank you, because then I can save it for when I want to buy it in August.
Now that one's got a volume knob on it, man.
Yeah, that one's got a volume knob
too. A little different.
All right, so New York is saying they have ones at stores, but what stores? Family Dollar or another store?
Yeah, you should Family Dollar, Dollar General.
Dollar General. I think there might be Dollar General near me.
Yeah, honestly, there should be.
To the all-you-can-eat buffet and waste my money there.
Yeah, you should definitely have a Dollar General in your area.
There's a Family Dollar next to me. That's the thing. Yeah. I don't have.
Yeah, Dollar General, you probably have better selection.
Better selection?
Yeah.
Well, let me try and find an app though. Y'all said the Play Store. Use better mic, right?
Yeah, just look for audio mixer kind of program. I sent you a link to that one on Amazon, so you should be getting an email with that.
Let me check if I got it. I think I did actually Thank you. I really appreciate you giving me that link because now I can like save it in my save collection.
Well, now your microphone changed, didn't sound too bad. Are you like farther away from it or something?
Oh,
Yeah, like Gary got good advice. Don't buy cheap gas station crap though. Yeah, he bought these beef sticks at a gas station one time. It wasn't a pleasant experience for him.
get right. You got scammed, bozo. All right, that's kind of rude. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, like Rob said, any store pretty much. They may
Okay.
not last long, but will work until you have time and ability to get something better if you decide to. So yeah, I mean,
I'm
you just
gonna
need something.
download the extension.
So
No, it doesn't work. Just
yeah, I mean, you got a Dollar General. They'll if you like earbuds, they'll even have earbuds that have mics built into them, like what Rob was saying earlier. So I mean, it's up to you how if you want one like that. That's a stand up. That'll stand up on your desk or your table or what have you, or if you want earbuds that'll have a mic built into them, or even a headset that has like a little mic that comes off the side of it. You can get the over the ear type. So, I mean, you have options on a limited budget, but keep in mind that stuff is only going to be starter stuff. That's not something you're going to want to keep using, but it'll be good enough to get you started. You know what I mean?
okay. Well, I have an idea with when you said the volume mixer thingy, right? The volume
Yeah,
volume.
yeah. You need a program that lets you adjust your volume levels and eliminates any like echo or background noise and stuff like that.
Oh my god! Does this work better now for you guys or no?
Yeah, you sound a little better. Yeah.
Yeah, now I have this extension, which like lets me use my audio now.
What do you think, JC? Sound a little bit better?
A little bit better, yeah. Usually on like
Maybe
my
I don't.
microphone settings, I don't really turn it up to 100%, and like echo cancellation and all that stuff, I turn that off.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't crank your mic volume all the way up because that can distort your voice as well. You want to try and find a medium where you're not too low, but you don't want to be super loud because if you get super loud, especially with built-in microphone. Like I don't know what you just did, but it sounded like you had a fan blowing directly on your microphone.
Yeah, it got turned up high now. It picks up too much. Yeah. That's better right there.
Yeah, say something.
So I got the Volume Master. It's a Chrome thing, right? And it works for StreamYard, but it helps me hear y'all. So I guess it like makes my volume better.
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, that's
With
better.
it turned all the way up, it's crazy, and it's got all the background hiss. So where you at? Somewhere around halfway or 3/4?
No, I'm at 10.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
at 14 right now. Now I'm at 10. Now I'm at 5 or 4. Is that better or no?
Turn it up. Try 6 and see how it sounds.
Is this good?
Oh,
Yeah, you're
way
good.
loud.
Stay there.
I'm good right now.
No,
Okay,
it's
turn it
loud
down.
now.
Turn it down. Now you're loud. Because we can hear it almost sounds like you had a fan running in the background.
I think it works best at 30. I do have a fan actually. Y'all want me to put it on?
No. Don't put the fan on. One thing you don't want is a whole lot of background noise. Rob, we told him it's better. We didn't tell him it was perfect. Good Lord, man. But,
All right, Rob. Wait, New York. Do you live in New York, or is your name just New York?
he lives upstate New York. He doesn't live in
So-
New York City.
He lives in the Bronx, huh? He lives in that. He lives in the Crackheadville. I don't like that place. Yeah,
He doesn't
don't
live.
you?
He's not in the New York City area. He's in upstate New York.
So he's not really part of New York. Then he's a fraud, a fake, a phony.
No, it's
As
still New
someone said.
York.
It's closer to Canada.
Part of New York.
Yeah, he's closer
Yeah,
to being
yeah.
Canadian than he is an American at this point. Yeah, Jason's onto something there.
He's not even really American then. Actually, he is American. If he's Canadian at that point.
Go back to the American Revolution. Canada really shouldn't be its own place. It should be part of the U.S. They gave back
That's what
Montreal and Toronto after the war.
Well, Rob, Rob. Hey, Rob. Good to see you out there tonight. Rich, I got about
Yo.
7 minutes. So
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and do my outro.
Yeah, we can start wrapping her up anyway. So you want to go ahead and start your outro, Jason? Anything you want to say? Go
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Glad Kevin could join us tonight, man. We'll get everything worked out, man. Don't sweat it. Glad everybody was out there in the chat. Thanks for giving us the latest update on the WWE and Vince. And now I'm looking forward. You say next week's a pay-per-view? What
Yep,
is that
next
gonna be on?
pay-per-view of all time. You know what is the best pay-per-view of all time? December.
There's a lot of people that would disagree with that. Unless you're talking about the
Like
actual
a lot-
ECW and not the WWE
Yeah.
version. If you're talking about
The ECW pay-per-view, December to December.
the one before WWE bought ECW. You're talking about the old school actual ECW when Paul Heyman was running.
Yeah, that one. Actually, you know what? This might be actually a bit controversial. My favorite pay-per-view, this might be really stupid. WrestleMania 38 is my favorite pay-per-view
That wasn't bad. It
ever.
wasn't the best. It wasn't bad. But anyway, let's let Jason get his final words in, Kev. Okay. Good. Well,
All right.
Good, Jason. Sorry.
I just say good night to everybody. Everybody have a good night, man. Thanks for the invite. That's all.
Okay. I didn't know if you were done or not. All right. What about you, Kev? Anything you want to say to the folks before we get out of here?
Well, well, peace out, guys.
All right. Short and sweet. I like it. All right, everybody. We will see y'all back here tomorrow night for This Week Unloaded. And hopefully Kev will be able to come back tomorrow. We're supposed to talk with him about his views on guns and stuff. So we'll have a good chat on that if Kev's able to be on. Or if he wants, we can hold off on that until he gets a better mic so that we don't have the audio issues. That's up to him.
I might have a better mic and actually, my favorite wrestler is the one with Shane McMahon, but I don't know if I can afford one because you know what's gonna happen in some months. But I'll try and buy one. You know what's gonna happen in some months, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be a big event which I'm trying to go to. But I probably can. I'll check if I have enough. Because I think I might have enough if I sell all my games, right? To buy a better mic.
Don't sell all your games unless you're not playing them anyway. Well, you said you're selling some of the GameStop anyway, right?
And he left me. I can't play because I'm not 18 yet, and my mom would get mad if I played them.
How old are you, if you don't mind asking? Sorry,
17.
say it again. You broke 17.
I'm 7. Yep.
Yeah, I thought I thought you were a little younger than us, but I thought maybe you might have been around 19 or 20. But yeah, I mean,
Man, I was about 17 again.
I thought you thought I was younger, actually, if I'm being honest.
no, I figured you were probably your late teens, early 20s is what I was thinking.
But you know, the WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan and like Kofi Kingston. What's that one?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if I saw it because I had stopped watching for a while, so I don't know if I saw that one or not. To be honest with you. But yep, we gotta get out of here for the night. So we'll catch y'all later, and we're gonna play the outro. And yep, we'll catch y'all tomorrow night.
You guys are probably really scared right now, and I understand that completely. But I get the better of the deal, and even though it's 3 versus 2, you guys are outnumbered because we're better than you guys. Yeah, we are. We're legends in our own mind compared to you guys. Even though you guys got the egos, we have got the wrestling skill. And this guy right here, we're the space